Joining me today is Tom Marsh, who's the town manager of the town of Windsor. Tom, thanks so much for being here.
Pleasure. Thanks for asking me.
So, big week this week. The town votes up and down Vermont. And how'd it go in Windsor?
We had a good day on Tuesday. We saw democracy in its finest. All articles on our warrant passed by about a 2-to-1 margin, so we're confident that the town feels we're moving in the right direction.
So is that higher than normal, 2-to-1, or about normal, or
It's on the high side. I mean, you never want it to be unanimous, and sometimes if it's too one-sided, you wonder if the entire debate was had. But anywhere between 55 and 65, 70% is a comfortable margin.
So what were the things you were most nervous about going into the vote?
Well, I think like most municipalities, there's a constant demand for quality service, but the necessity every year to validate the value you're giving to your residents comes up. And Windsor's struggled on a number of fronts, and we have infrastructure, economic issues, social issues, and to address those takes effort. So our budget wasn't particularly aggressive, but the operating budget was up, including capital, about 3%. And when you're asking for more money, you always want to make sure that you're validating your position.
Well, what were the biggest lines in the budget? What are the biggest lines in your budget?
Police by far. For a town of 3,500, our police budget is almost $1 million. And we're in essence the big city for our end of Vermont. We do provide contracted services to West Windsor as well as Windsor. Our fire department has a budget of about $1 million as well, but it's offset by almost $750,000 of revenue from our ambulance service. So it looks big if you don't look at both sides. Where our biggest challenge has been is capital improvements. Funding the capital budget year after year, you'd never put in enough money to meet the continuing needs. And that's one easy line item to look at it and say, well, let's just cut a big chunk out of that this year. But we made progress.
When you sit down with people, what are the challenges to explain what you're doing?
It's most things other than infrastructure are services that a segment of the population uses. And it can be very important to some and not at all important to others, whether that is fire and police services or a recreation department. And the point is to convey it's all of the services that make the community, and they're all important to someone. If it turns out there really is a segment that isn't important, then it's up to us to make sure that we bring that down to the scale to which the community demands. But when you pave a street, people say, oh, I see what I just got for my tax dollars. When you institute a couple of extra yoga classes or we bring in a canine unit in our police department, there's not necessarily that cause and effect that our residents see.
You don't see it, but it's there and it's in the background.
And when you need it, you want to have it.
Right, that's true. When you need a fire truck, you want it to be on the way.
No one has ever said, don't respond to my house.
So what's the style of voting? And I apologize, I should know this, but I don't. Australian ballot. I noticed when I was looking through that some of the articles were Australian ballot rules. What is that? I just, out of curiosity.
What is Australian ballot?
Yeah.
Well, I actually looked that up before our budget season started, and it turns out Australia was the first country to institute the process of a paper ballot to compile votes. So the term has stuck.
Oh.
In Windsor, we vote on our budget items, things to do with money, by Australian ballot. The items that are policy, when do we collect taxes, who is going to be our moderator, things like that, are voted by a floor count at the town meeting that is held the evening before. So in this case, Monday night. The meeting is then adjourned to voting on Tuesday.
And do people vote? Is this a ballot vote? I mean, in the booth, or so everybody goes in the booth and vote?
Correct. We have electronic machines. You fill in the little dots.
So it's not like the part of it's a traditional town meeting.
Yes.
And the other part of it is a traditional vote, the way we think of it.
Right. Not that long ago, we were still filling out paper ballots and hand counting them all, but that aspect has gone automated. But yeah, it's a little hybrid.
So, and was it good participation?
If you say yes with an asterisk, we had a little over 500 votes, which is probably somewhere around a 25% turnout. It's kind of hard to tell because our the way you manage your voter lists, I think they're a bit inflated because we don't take people off. And that seems typical. Normally, the count may be more around 1,000 for a national election for November.
And people can trust their neighbors? Well, we're out of time in this segment.